Hello, good evening traders. Welcome back to the channel. This is Vishal and you're watching the weekly sectoral analysis. So I guess at the end of the week, everything has ended well for the overall market. You can see the entire list of important sectoral indices that have closed in green. The good part is that was a little bit bearishness which was created in especially these 2 days. I'll try to mark for all of you. You can see this one day and this is the one Wednesday and Thursday where we had a couple of candles which were looking like a spinning top and one more was inverted hammer, but I think all ends well when market bounces back sharply from the important support. So if you remember this important support, I have been sharing with all of you since now 3 to 4 weeks, and again once more I'll share with all of you the important level was 24,350 to 24,450. So far so good. It has been able to hold. The good part now I would say is that if you can see the price properly, it has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 1.5 months where the price has been completely locked in the range. On the higher side, we can say 25,200. On the lower side, you can see the levels are close to 24,500 or 24,480. So this was not a very good time for short-term traders or swing traders, although there were a few stocks which worked out nicely, but still overall this was a choppy time. Now the good part is that the momentum in the shorter term time frame you can see is improving slowly and steadily. Although if this trend line breakout in the RSI, if this happens, it would be an icing on the cake. But again, we need to understand that along with the support, I had also been sharing important support band, the resistance band on the upside, which is 25,200. So in case if market wants to continue this rally on the upside, it will have to close above 25,200, 25,250 and sustain above it. Because after such a long consolidation of 1.5 months, if we just have one close above 25,200 and the second day again the market crashes, तो उस particular breakout का कोई point नहीं. There is no point of that particular breakout. We need to continuously rally once we close above that level, and that is called momentum. Okay. Now, if you look at the weekly time frame chart, we have seen two candles with a long wick on the downside, and thankfully the wicks have been able to bounce back from important supports. Then we have a candle which is a big green candle. So things are improving in the weekly chart and even in the monthly time frame chart. Although one thing I would say, the momentum in the monthly time frame chart has yet to improve. It is improving, it is getting better, but we need a little bit more movement happening in that part. Let's see Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty in the monthly time frame chart, it is fantastic. I would say in comparison to Nifty, the monthly time frame chart of Bank Nifty is obviously much better because it has been able to make a new lifetime high. Looking at the weekly time frame chart of Bank Nifty, if you can see properly that there is no particular negative divergence as such. Even if you look at the daily time frame chart, there is no divergence over here as well. Okay, so things are fine in the weekly time frame chart in Bank Nifty. Only thing is the momentum is slowing down. Yes, you will say that the last week's candle is bullish and things are looking fine. The trend is up. Yes, I do understand. But if you check properly that if you check this candle, the candle number 1, then you check the another candle. So if you check these two candles properly, then the previous week's candle had engulfed the last week's candle, and then this week, the current week which ended, it has not been able to engulf the last week's high, or it has not been able to close above it. So yes, things are improving certainly in the daily time frame chart. As a short-term trader, as a short-term swing trader, you will say that things are certainly improving. I will not deny that. But when we have a look at the weekly time frame chart, I would say that things are okay. They're not bad, but it's not a great looking chart, I would say. Okay. So again, I would repeat, it's not bad, but it's not a great looking chart. It certainly needs a little bit more to it to, to give it a look that it's really a great chart. Okay. Private banking space. Now, private banking space, if you have a look at the monthly time frame chart, fantastic. The weekly time frame chart, if you have a look, I would say it's okay. It's not bad, but it's better than the Bank Nifty chart. If you just have a look at the Bank Nifty chart, then you will notice that the previous week's candle, the red colored candle, was huge in comparison to the current week's green candle. But right now, if you have a look in the private banking space, you can see that this week's candle is, yes, it is smaller than the last week's candle, but it's slightly bigger than the last week's candle. So that is a good part. As looking at the daily time frame chart, things are fine. The trend is up. Momentum is also okay. It's not great, but it's improving. So overall things are fine in the private banking space. In the PSU banking space, I should say that the monthly time frame chart is okay. It needs to improve a bit more, because after this candle, after this big green candle which occurred in the month of March, so far we have two different candles and none of them are big green candles, because the monthly candle of last to last month was sort of a high wave candle. Then we have a candle which looks like a hammer, but to add confidence in a bullish trader's mind, you will need something like this, big green candles, bullish bell toll candles, which is not visible after the month of March. So I think this is a waiting time. As we look at the weekly time frame chart, the trend is up. We can say that the RSI is also fine. It's trading above 50. Things are okay. If you have a look at the daily time frame chart, we can clearly see that over here, I had repeated in last 2 weeks videos that we had a higher high in the price, okay, and we had a lower high in the RSI, and we did need some profit booking, some consolidation, and that has already come up. And after this thing, you can clearly see that things have retraced, things have cooled off, and we are close to the 38.20% Fibonacci retracement. And this retracement, if you check properly, is near a previous high. This is a very good sign. Now what we need to understand is that we have a hammer over here in the monthly, in the weekly time frame chart, and again in the last week's candle we have a candle where we have a small wick. So if we have one more candle, maybe even a smaller candle, which pushes the price hard on the downside near the supports, and then if we bounce back, it could be really great for the price, okay, especially great for the short-term traders. Energy pack in the monthly time frame charts, again I should say that this is a great candle to have. This is also a great candle to have because it is a big hammer with a big long wick. But this candle is fine, it's good, but it does not have a very big wick on the upside. And instead of a candle with a wick, if it was a big green candle, it would add more momentum to the price, it would add more power to the price. Also due to this, if you have a look at the weekly time frame charts, the order of the moving averages have changed. It's positive for the price, fine. But if you check properly, the candles, specifically the candles, apart from this candle, there is a big green candle first, and then there are multiple smaller candles, which means a consolidation. Then we have an outside bar. Rather than an inside bar, we have an outside bar, which means it is more volatility in that particular index. And then suddenly the index is trying to find supports, which is what I've tried to highlight over here in the daily time frame chart. So I think what is happening over here is that things are okay, things are fine in the oil and gas pack, in the energy pack, but I think this particular sector is trying to buy time before going up. You know, at times what happens is after a pretty splendid pullback, after a fast pullback, things try to slow down, the sector takes to have some breather, it'll go sideways, and then probably it will try to make the next move on the upside, and that is what is happening. The good part is that we are at a support, and the support band is between 638 to 35,116. Let's hope that this support is not broken on closing basis. If it does, then possibly things can change. But so far, so good. I think things are looking okay. But if the sector takes a dip on the downside, do not forget that we are near a support. If we have a rebound from here, it can be great for the sector. Auto pack. Monthly time frame chart looking okay. You can see the weekly time frame chart is looking fine, specifically because of this candle. Then we have one more candle which is bullish. Then the third candle over here with a lower wick, and again a candle which is, like you can say, a green candle, slightly big in nature but with a wick. So I think the auto pack is trying really hard to go up, but as I had shared with all of you, important levels in the auto pack somewhere over here is 23,934 to 24,012. So I think the auto pack needs to close above this level and sustain above it for a further rally to happen in this particular sector. Consumption pack, again, I think as the monthly time frame chart, things are good. The momentum seems to be improving. The trend is also okay. The consolidation is clearly and openly visible in the weekly time frame chart. You can see 3 candles so far which are great, all bullish bell tolls, with one candle which is red in color but with a wick. So overall a good looking chart, not great but a good looking chart. But I think this good looking chart can turn out to be a great looking chart if we are able to close above this level, which is again a resistance level, which is 11,386 to 11,692 or 700. And this is a level, this is a band which I had shared with all of you in my last video. Okay, so I think we need to close above this particular band, and even this recent high we need to surpass and close above it. Only then you will be able to see further movement on the upside. In terms of trend, I think all the 3 time frames are in an uptrend. Finance pack. Well, finance pack, I would say that the trend and momentum in the monthly time frame chart are better. In the weekly time frame chart, I should say that after the initial gasp, after the initial rally over here, you can see that the index is out of steam. It's taking a breather. And why I can say that is you can see so many candles which are very small in size. Okay, so this is happening because the volatility is coming down. The volatility is crashing, which is a good part. But along with that, what happens is that short-term traders might find very less opportunities. As a swing trader, yes, you would say that after this particular sideways rally, we are dipping down and we are trying to move up. Yes, I will say fine. But as a trader, I would also say that if the higher time frame chart is not that great, then it can also affect the lower time frame chart. So yes, things are okay in the daily time frame chart. It might be okay even in the hourly, 2 hourly later on if the price moves up. But if the weekly chart was great, then the overall impact of the rally on the lower time frame charts would be much better. So as of now, I think it's not visible to us. It will take some time, possibly maybe next 1 or 2 weeks, and then we'll come to know what is in shape for the finance pack. FMCG, you can see that the initially monthly time frame chart was looking great. Now things are changing, and I had clearly mentioned that weekly time frame chart was still in a downtrend. You can see the order of the moving averages is bearish. RSI is also shaping on the downside. If you have a look at the daily time frame chart, also RSI is down, and I think overall the FMCG sector is looking weak. There are few stocks which are looking positive, but overall the index is not looking that great. So just be careful about this index. Infra pack, you can say the monthly time frame chart improving, weekly time frame chart also improving, and the daily time frame chart also looks to be good enough. The trend, momentum, everything seems to be in the sync and things are looking okay. IT pack, as I have been suggesting that it's trying very, very hard, especially by looking at the weekly time frame chart, and I had clearly told that if the IT pack surpasses this zone, then things will change, and you can see how things have worked. It went up, it took a retracement at the same level, and now it's trying. I'm not saying it will, it's trying to move once again on the upside. Well, in this up move, yes, you will feel that after a very, very, very long time, things are improving in the IT pack. I would say yes, they are improving. But we should not also forget one thing, that we have a candle over here in the weekly time frame chart with a wick. After a long time, we did not had any candle in the weekly time frame chart with a wick on the upside. That's the first thing. Secondly, also do not forget that this is a downtrend. This is a downtrend, and what is happening right now is not an uptrend, it is a pullback, because the order of the moving averages so far is still bearish. It has not turned bullish. So this is just a retracement. We are trying to retrace this entire down move. Okay. So yes, as the overall trend in the daily time frame chart is bullish, but we should be mindful and we should understand that we are trying to retrace a prior move which was on the downside by keeping this in mind. We should not be blind when we are extremely bullish in what particular sector. Also, I would like to say the trend is improving. We are having a very good candle over here. This is a okay candle. This is also a great candle, although this candle is not yet complete because we are still in the 21st of this particular month today. So I think trend is improving, but the momentum, if you can see, RSI is not looking that great. I think things need to improve further, and things will only and only improve if the price keeps further pushing further and further away on the upside. Only that is one way to improve the entire state of trend in IT pack. So yes, things are okay with the viewpoint of a short-term trader in the daily time frame chart, and this is a support which it is holding on right now. As of now, there are no bullish, there are no bearish things which are visible on the chart. But again, as I'm just saying, that just be mindful, just remember that we are trying to retrace the prior down move, and it's not an uncharted territory basically. Okay. All right. Metal pack. Metal pack, things are looking great in the monthly time frame chart. Things are looking okay in the daily time frame chart. But I believe in the daily time frame chart, what has happened is it has been able to break this low. I would say if we just actually plot a Fibonacci over here, okay, and if you see that if the metal packs goes a little bit more further, a bit more, and then if it tries to bounce back, it will be also better for the sector. Also, we also need to understand that in the metal pack, if you just go and have a look properly, it's completely out of sync, in the sense there will be few stocks, I'll not take the name of stocks, but you will see few stocks which are bullish and few stocks which are doing nothing. So if you're taking any positions, just be mindful, just understand that you know exactly what you're doing in this sector. Things can improve, but you have to be watchful about which particular stock you're picking. Okay. And also right now you can see there's an inverted hammer, although I'm not giving it as much importance because we are still in the 21st of this month and the candle is yet to be end. Pharma pack, again, I have no view whatsoever. It continues to consolidate, continues to go sideways. So I have no view whatsoever on this particular sector. PSEs. PSE as a sector, you can say the trend is trying to improve, but the momentum is not that great in the monthly time frame chart. You can see only one big green candle. Then we have an hammer, which is okay, but the last two candles, they are not that great. I'm not saying they're bearish. I'm not saying at all that they are bearish. Things are improving, but along with trend, if the trend improves on the upside as fast as possible, it will be always good for the market. Again, you can see properly that the RSI is sideways. RSI is sideways. So this is just a sign that which says that the trend, the trend and momentum both are not in align with each other. and you can see a lot of consolidation happening. So you can also say that the trend is up in the weekly and the monthly time frame chart right now. Yes, the prices are just below the moving averages in the daily time frame, but they are in the retracement mode. I would just say that, and it is at a support band. Support band is from 9650 to 9754 or 9750. So if it just takes a small down move on the downside quick, and then if it rebounds, maybe things can change. But what I'm trying to make sense over here is that we need some momentum, we need some quick move on the upside for things to change, because even the placement of the moving averages is positive, but then we need price to become we need price to be a little bit more active on the upside. Okay, reality pack. Reality pack, I would say that it's time to stay away from this sector. As a bullish trader, I would say it has been able to rally very nicely. You will say by looking at the daily time frame chart that why someone would stay away. It has multiple proofs that we are a higher low chart. Yes, I would say it's a strong chart in that sense. But if you look properly, there are 2 to 3 things over here which we need to understand. First thing is the sectoral chart of the real estate pack in the monthly time frame chart is phenomenal. I mean, so many indexes we did have a look over here, but the real estate sector was one of the best, I should say, number one. Because the reason is it has been completely rallying straight away on the upside vertically. That is one sign. Second thing which is visible to me, the trend is up in the daily and in the weekly time frame chart. But if you check properly, since last couple of weeks, things have stopped moving. The space between the moving averages and the price is pretty much away from each other. Okay. And again, we have hit a resistance over here, which is at 2.0 Fibonacci extension. And we have not been able to surpass that particular resistance. So I believe as a trader, as a position, or even as a swing trader, if anyone is holding positions over here, it makes sense to maybe book partial profits, and at least I would not try to indulge and initiate new long positions in this particular sector. I would probably stay light and wait out for a few weeks. I'm talking about weeks, not days, but few weeks. I would just wait out, maybe couple of weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know how many, and then maybe I will give it a fresh new start. Okay. Looking at the mid caps. Okay, mid caps. Now in mid caps, the first and foremost thing which is visible to me is the trend. It's looking very, very strong in the monthly time frame chart. Yes, this candle is not that great, and this is the result of these last 2 candles. Again, in the daily time frame chart, things have started looking a little bit worrisome. As we can see, the price has started falling. Profit booking is visible. And again, I would also say that we are also at a resistance point in the weekly time frame chart. And probably as a position trader, as a swing trader, I would not like to probably initiate any new positions in this particular sector, at least as of now. Would like to wait out, would like this sector to consolidate, retrace, maybe sort of profit booking, and then maybe after a couple of weeks or maybe even more, only then I will be interested in this sector, and only then I will go forward ahead. All right. So that's my view for the mid cap, and summing it up all, I would say things have certainly improved at the end of the week, especially due to the Friday's move, because in the 2 hourly time frame charts, things were slightly hunky-dory. Initially, if you have a look in the last few days before Friday, things were starting to drop on the downside, but then suddenly we had a gap up and we rallied on the upside. So yes, that's a good sign, but you'll have to remain watchful and mindful that it's not a market where we have a blanket view that everything is improving, because when we have just a look at the scoreboard in the sense I'm trying to say that कितने sectors green में बंद हुए, सब sector green में बंद हुए, but the view as a trader should not be the same on each and every sector. It should be different. So if any trader, whether you are positional or a swing or even a short-term momentum trader, if you're trying to take positions, you'll have to understand, take proper view on the sectors, and only then go ahead. I should say that it's a mixed bag, but private banking as of now looks great. PSU banks can improve, but it will take some time. I think it will take some time. It's not going to happen very quickly. All right. So that's it from my side. And there are a few other selected sectors also, but you'll have to be mindful and watchful of which stocks do you pick. All right. So I hope at the end of this video, I have been able to help you with the overall understanding of how markets can move in the next few days and weeks. If you like the video, please share and subscribe to the channel. It will help the channel grow. All right. Take care. Goodbye.